I'm a firm believer you only get one life. I don't believe in the afterlife, and it absolutely terrifies me.
I never used to be like, that concerned. I think it's just because I lost somebody so close to me suddenly who was also so young.
Especially when my mate passed on deployment, even though you're surrounded by it constantly and you're watching people die on a daily basis, you don't want it to be spoken about. You kind of want it to forget about it.
We probably didn't talk about her death. A lot of people don't talk about it because if you talk about it, you feel like maybe you're closing down on any hope that they may survive or recover.
My colleagues at work just wouldn't talk about it. I do think I'm scared that my friend would be judged.
As it's related to drugs, I try to find it hard to talk about with people because ultimately do get worried about it reflecting negatively on my family.
It has not happened to you, and then all of a sudden it pops up sort of out of nowhere, then it can be very tough to deal with. And I think it is scary.
It is a very common disease, and I think people get scared to talk about it because it is the kind of thing that can inflict anyone.
People just wouldn't have known what to say to me if he had died after a long illness, but the fact that he chose to go made it so much more complex.
It's such a permanent change in people's lives that they sometimes just can't get their head around it.
He had died from an accidental overdose of ecstasy, but I think there was a general stigma around talking about it at all because there were people I knew at the time that were taking ecstasy regularly.
And I think it actually stops you telling people how your loved one died.
For most people, the dream is to just one day pass away in your sleep without really realising it.
I think people almost kid themselves. People think they're invincible.
I'd be in a supermarket and people would avoid me because they didn't know what to say to me.
The fear of saying the wrong thing actually leads to people just not saying anything, and I think that can often be the worst.
And this is where our education fails us. This is the sort of thing that should be taught in schools now.
It's seen as a weak thing to express our feelings when in reality it's just showing your true self.
The amount of times I've had people just be like, I don't know what that feels like. And it's like, okay, you don't need to. You don't have to. You just need to be there.
We only really look at death when it's staring us quite literally in the face, either our own or the death of somebody that we love. And then we're scratching around trying to find support and help.
If you don't know what to say it. I just don't know what to say to you. But I know that I must acknowledge what you've been through.